just think it's, he's the first detective, I mean, he's like the caveman of detectives, I mean, he's been there forever. And I think as a detective action guy, he started, I mean, he just, I made a movie called Lethal Weapon, and there was Magnum P.I. I mean, there's been, Agatha Christie. I mean, there's been a lot of detective kind of genre things, but it came from him, and it clearly shows that he stood the test of time. Here we are in 2009, and we're still reinventing the guy. And I think this is the best version of him. I mean, of course, I'm going to say that it's the one we made, but I mean, I think, I remember as a kid growing up and watching the Sherlock Holmes movies, realizing they were important but they were somber and stuffy and kind of interior, and this is a real action movie, and that's true to the book. It's true to the stories. It's true to who he was, is this guy, and Downey just nails it.
Well, Joel and I did work with Guy on Rock'n'Rolla. We had a great experience on that, and both prior to and right after Rock'n'Rolla, we had been working with him on developing things at a bigger scale, like the scale of Sherlock. And when we were doing that, he showed us the script to Rock'n'Rolla and was anxious to go make something. So we did that, and that came across, obviously, Warner Brothers' radar because they distributed the movie. And they gave him Sherlock to consider. And realizing that we had worked with him, we obviously have the relationship with Warner Brothers, Joel's history making the movies at this scale in such a good way. They just thought it was like the perfect marriage of everyone.
Well, I mean, Downey, yes. I've known him for many years. Susan is a very personal relationship with her. And we right away said, he's the guy, he can nail it, he's the guy. But, we struggled with watching a little bit, which way to go exactly. And when we met Jude, it was perfect. It was kismet, Jude and Robert met one day here at this very hotel. And they got on really well. And Downey walked out of the meeting and said, we got him, And I think that was it. The chemistry is so incredible because it's genuine. They really care about each other, like each other, and I think that comes through in the movie. And I think that's the glue that holds the movie together.
Well, he definitely had a specific viewpoint that he wanted to show a very gritty, realistic London. So we felt like we were actually looking at what it might have looked like back in 1890, and that was incredibly appealing to us. That was appealing to the studio. And he tells sort of a funny story that his idea was he wanted to have the experience of making a big studio movie on a grand scale, and the studio wanted all the Guy Ritchie elements. So in some ways, he was fighting for their cause, and they were fighting for his, and it ended up working out really well. But it was great. It got us to explore areas of London that I've certainly never seen and on screen before, and there's so many rich areas to mine that have buildings that existed back then, and then do a little CGI, and you have Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes.